Hello, welcome to Steve McDonald's Arts and Crafts. And to make this diorama, what I need to do first is I need to make my ice sheets or my icebergs. What I've got is I've got some light blue opaque pigment, and I'm going to put that into the resin as well as a little bit of white, because I've been told quite clearly that actually icebergs aren't white. They are a bluish colour. They have a bluish tint to them. You want to know how I made these moulds? It's really simple to do. I do have a video on it, on how to make these. I'll link that at the end of this video. Right, what I'll do is I'll put those to one side, let that cure up for 24 hours. I'll come back, demould it, and we'll have a look and see what those colours have come out like. Now, I want to suspend this from the top here when I put the resin in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I suspend the actual narwhal. This is a narwhal, and the polar bear will be sitting on a little iceberg that will be here, and the narwhal will be sitting up possibly that way round. I haven't decided, but going from the corner coming up at a slight angle, and the bear will be somewhere around here. So what I've got here is some very thin, clear sewing thread, and it's made of nylon, and it's really thin. And what I shall do is I shall suspend the narwhal from that. But obviously I have to attach that to the narwhal's back. So what I will use to attach this to the narwhal is I will use a little bit of super glue. I've got a little bit of super glue, and I know I want it to suspend that way, so I'll just pop a tiny dot on its back like so, and then I'll pop the thread in it, and I'll wait for that to dry, and I'll cut it off with just a pair of scissors, leaving quite a long length. And then the next bit I will glue just to the tail. I'll be doing exactly the same thing. Now we've got the pieces of fishing line attached to the narwhal, what I need to do is I need to suspend that somewhere in there in the shape that I want it. So what I've done is I've got a lollipop stick, and with my Dremel I've drilled two little holes in it. And what I'll do is I will pass this through this like so, and then get it to the position that I want it in. So there, let's put that bit of tape back on where I want that there. And then this bit here, because I'm going to have it going at about, yeah, that angle. I don't want it completely up. I want it to look like he's swimming up. That bit there is going to go there. So it's not touching the bottom, but it's also not as high as his actual head. So let's put that bit there. And then I will cut these little bits off, because I find if I don't cut these bits off, I keep popping them in the resin and doing things. So that should suspend nicely from there and get that in approximately the area that I want it. I've got my resin mixed up, which is my slow cure. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a bit of blue in it, which is a translucent blue, and it's a light blue, to give it a colour that I'm kind of looking for. I now need to just pour this in slowly until I've got it to the level that I need. I will cover it up, put it somewhere safe, and let it cure for 3 days, because it's a slow cure resin. This is nearly cured now, and what I need to do is I need to put in the polar bear and the iceberg. So what I need to do first is I've got this iceberg made, which you saw me make, and this is the one that I've chosen to use. I quite like this one. It's got 2 different levels, and the bear fits on it really nice and easily. So what I need to do is I need to glue this down onto here. I'm going to be using Yoo-hoo, which I decant into this little pot now here. Just pop a little bit of Yoo-hoo on the bottom of each one of the polar bear's paws, and I want him looking out like that sort of angle. what this gives me time to do is get it into the place where I really want him. This can come off now, so I can cut this off because that narwhal's not going anywhere, and that gives me much easier space. Now I will trim these down further, but what you'll notice as well, you won't see those cords at all when I'm finally finished with the actual piece. So I want that to sit about there, so the narwhal is going slightly under that. And what I'm going to do, this is because this isn't completely cured, it's still slightly soft. It's probably got about another 24 hours before it's completely hard. I'm pushing this down into that resin because not only will it make it sit in there nice and firm and won't move because that resin will cure around that rock, it'll also make it look as if the iceberg is slightly, or the ice sheet is slightly under the water, which is what I want it to do. And what I'll now do is I'll just let this bear dry off nicely where he is and then get on with the next part. I've also got this other little white one as well, which is the bluey white colour that I really do quite like. And I like to pop that here. And what I'm going to do again, I'm just going to push this down so a little bit of it looks like it's slightly under the water. This is cured up nicely now, so all I have to do is remove this from its little casting pot. Now, I've got a new tool, and I will put the link to this in the description. It fits to my drill. Oh, it's lovely and soft. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my polish and my drill, and I'm just going to quickly go over this and see what happens. I'm overjoyed how well that worked out, and that really polished it up. No sanding or anything. I'm so pleased with that. And I'm really pleased to how this is starting to come out now as well. But what I want to do now is I want to make this top a little bit more as if there's water movement on it. I quite like how it is around here where I pushed in the actual ice, but I would like it to be more wavy. Now, I could go over it with my Dremel and carve it all out, but I don't want that because I don't want deep waves. I just want kind of ripply effect. I don't know if you can see that or if it's picking up as well. You can't see now where I suspended that narwhal at all because it just disappears inside the coloured resin, the nylon thread. And it is a really useful way of suspending things. So how I'm going to do that is I'm going to be using a little bit of this Liquitex, I love Liquitex stuff, gloss gel medium. And this dries really, really clear. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that on like so all the way around. Now, as I said, this will dry clear. So if you want a bit of colour in it, what you can do is you can get a tiny, and I mean a tiny bit of white paint here. Like so. Get some of the gloss medium and mix that into that. And then that'll give it a little bit of white as well. Now, if I was going to have any white in around it, I would just have bits dropping about. I would most probably have it around here. And around this bit as well. What I'll do now is I will just clean up these edges to make sure none of this has come over the edge, because I don't want it to come over the edge. And then I'll just put it to one side and I'll let that dry overnight. So I'm just quickly making a base, and I'm making the base in the same way I had made the molds for the actual icebergs. So this will be what it will sit directly onto. And I'm also going to embed some lights into this. So keep watching to see how I do that. This is cured now. I've took the foil off it and I've drawn a little shape around it there where I need to remove it. I want this obviously to slot in. I don't want it to be too deep, so I need to be careful of how much I remove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Dremel and I'm going to just use the little attachment with it here, and then I'm just going to cut a little hole through it like so, then remove everything that I need to, and then we'll come back. I've finished carving this out now, as you can see. I've made a little hole there and a little trench there for the lights to go through, and so it will still sit flat, because I will put some felt or something on the bottom of this, even though it is lovely and smooth. And also I've cut out some trenches here as well for the lights to sit in. All I'm going to do is I'm going to seal this with some acrylic paint. I'm just going to paint it a bluey kind of white colour. Then I will get back to what it looks like when I put the lights in. So I've painted this and it's all dry now. I've painted the inside blue because obviously I don't want it to reflect any different colour through this. And now all I have to do is put my lights in. So I've stretched my lights out so they're all nice and flat, or as flat as I can get them. And all I need to do now is just poke them through the little hole that I've made here. Okay, and pull them through. And I want to pull them through so part of this plastic bit is also in there, and then it will sit there like so. And then these will go round, and I'll push those down into this like so. And how I'll fix those in is I'll be using a little bit of UV resin to do that. So I'll pop that down like so. I'll squeeze a dab of UV resin on it and hold it down. And then I'll cure it with my torch. So I'm going to continue to do this and then we'll come back. These have all glued down nicely now. As you can see, they're not going to go anywhere. And that's all ready. And all I need to do now is I need to just pop this into there. I have actually put some little round felt feet on the bottom. I just had a bit of felt and used a punch to punch it out. So all that needs to do is slot in there, check the lights work, which they do still, and there we go. We're all done. I'm really pleased with how this has come out. I absolutely love it. The narwhal is there. Well, the narwhal is just coming up under the rock, and so is the little polar bear on his little icebergs. And they've come under the water really nicely as well. And there's a little bit of sediment coming up. It polished up lovely. I'm really pleased with it. And I'm going to turn off the lights as well in my studio so you can see what it looks like with the light lit up and coming through the top. I absolutely love it. I think this is one of my favourite of all my dioramas that I've ever made. I really do like it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Don't forget, if you want to see more of my videos, to hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell, because that really helps. And I've also been told that every time you like a video of mine or leave a comment, then you're more likely, even if you're a subscriber, to be recommended my videos, so you won't miss out. Check out the join button. There's no obligation if you check out the join button, and it will tell you exactly what the perks are for becoming a member of my channel. And if you become a member, then there are quite a few perks as well. I hope you've enjoyed this project as much as I have. I've really, really enjoyed it. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Take care. Enjoy your resin. Bye.